Hello, my name is Michael Everett. I am a certified athletic trainer and I'm the baseball softball program coordinator here at Tosh. The exercises I'm about to show you are what I call the strengthening 5. They are a series of exercises for your rotator cuff, your shoulder, and your scapular muscles in your back. For these exercises, I'm going to be using tubing. I'm going to attach that tubing to the door by having a knot in the end of my tubing or in the middle of the tubing, and that knot will basically go through the door, so it's not in the door jamb, but on the other side of the door jamb when you close your door. For some of the exercises, it'll be above your head. For some of them, it'll be at your elbow height. For some of them, it'll be down at the ground at your ankle height, and I'll describe that during the exercise. For all of the 5 strengthening exercises we're going to do today, we're going to be using 3 sets of 30 repetitions. This first one is what we call scapular retraction. Basically, your scapular bones in the back, you're trying to get to pinch together. We're going to start by having our band above your head height in the door frame. You're going to stretch yourself back far enough to where the band is holding your arms up tall or about 90 degrees. From here, with good posture, you're going to just pinch your shoulder blades together and let the bands pull you out. Pinch your shoulder blades together and let the bands pull you out. Ideally, you want a full range of motion all the way out and all the way pinched on each one. This exercise is one we call scapular protraction. It is for your shoulder blades. The band we're using is above the door frame with the door shut. We start by having our shoulder blades pinched all the way back as far as we can with our elbows straight. I like to envision having a tree trunk out in front of me because I'm going to go out and around that tree and give myself bones and then come back to where I'm pinched. Out and around, come back and pinch. Out and around, come back and pinch. I'm going to show you 2 exercises for your rotator cuff. One is what we call internal rotation, and the other is called external rotation. I have my tubing connected in my door frame at about elbow height. I'm going to start by having my elbow connected to my body or slightly away from my body. You can use a rolled up towel in here if it's comfortable to you. I want to receive a full range of motion here. So to do that, I want to turn my body ever so slightly away from my tension. As I do that, I'm going to keep my elbow at 90 degrees or have my wrist just slightly above my elbow height. Then I'm going to just gradually pull in towards my belly, let the band pull me back slowly, and just keep that continuous motion pulling towards my belly and letting the band pull me out. The opposite exercise, I'm going to use my other hand, is exactly the same posture, exactly the same position with your elbow. I'm going to turn my body ever so slightly towards the tension, and from here I'm going to pull my body or my arm out and let it come back in. Slowly out and let it come back in. The following 2 exercises are what we call stage 2 or phase 2 of shoulder rotator cuff strengthening exercises for internal and external rotation. This first one is internal rotation. It starts by having your band or your tube behind you, your elbows away from your body with your shoulders about 45 degrees and your elbows about 90 degrees. I'm going to let the tubing pull me back and I'm going to pull it forward. We call this W position because your arms look like a W. I'm just going to roll over with each of my different repetitions, trying to strengthen around in an internal rotation position. I'm going to turn around and show you the external rotation. It begins in the exact same position, W position. The tubing will be a little lower towards your feet. I'm going to have my shoulders away from my body about 45 degrees, W, and my elbows about 90. From here, I'm going to slowly and controlled pull back in a full range of motion as far as I can. If it's too hard, I can scoot forward ever so slightly and make that repetition easier. The following exercise I'm going to show you is basically level 3 or stage 3 of shoulder internal rotation strengthening for your rotator cuff. It starts with having your band behind you at a height that's a little higher than your head for a good angle of your resistance. From here, I'm going to have my elbows about 90 degrees as I do the exercise, but it's okay also to have your arms a little bit higher or into your natural throwing position. I want my elbows bent at 90 degrees, and I'm just going to roll over with each of these repetitions. I want to go as far back as my body will let me to get a full range of motion, and roll over and go as far forward as I can. For each repetition, I'm getting a full range of motion. The following exercise is level 3, or stage 3, shoulder rotator cuff external rotation. To begin this exercise, we're going to have our bands at ground level or as close to the floor as you can get it. I'm going to bring my elbows up or my shoulders away from my body about 90 degrees with my elbows at 90 degrees. From here, I'm pulling backwards in a full range of motion. I'm going to go back as far as I can and let the band pull me forward. And go back as far as I can and let the band pull me forward. Here again, it's a weaker exercise. It's okay to slightly come forward if it's keeping you from a full range of motion. The following exercise is an exercise we developed here at Tosh for our throwing program that is a little bit of a military press, but it adds some internal and external rotation components. To do this exercise, I'm going to be using weights. The weights can be anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds. Don't want to do too much higher than that because we're looking for high repetition, low weight. We're going to start by having my thumbs about the same height as my ears, or elbows at 90 degrees and shoulders at 90 degrees. From here, I'm going to push straight up, come in and clap my hands together, come straight back out, and come down. So the action is up, clap, out, down. Up, clap, out, down.